Hooah! There we are.
Here we are back again.
For a second, I felt like Al Pacino. Hooah! You're not an Al Pacino fan, are you?
That second's over.
What's that? Yeah, the second is
Okay.
gone. It's gone.
fine.
It's only a moment. It is only one moment in time. Give me one moment in time.
I think his daughter went to school with my daughter way back in grade school. I think.
What are you talking about?
Al Pacino, one of those guys.
Robert De Niro or Al Pacino?
One of those. I can't
speak now or forever hold your peace.
They're all the same to me. Actors and politicians, they just kind of like blend together into a amorphic group. Oh, we're gonna go there.
I can only imagine that. Oh, listen, I'm doing all musical quotes today. I can only imagine, one moment in time. I don't know how this program is going so far. So far, it feels like I have a musical theme, just kind of like going through. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I got a musical theme. It goes wah wah.
I think I should sing this entire program.
All right, so I'll be leaving now.
We're going to call it. We're going to call it "Focus on You, the Musical," starring Oscar Capel.
Oh no! I'm not wearing that skirt and heels on stage again. Nah.
Potential actor for Streetcar Named Desire.
So listen, I heard a few minutes ago you got some really good news.
Yes. It seems as if I will be going to the Ulapalooza. Oh.
What if there's like 2 or 3 people out there that don't know what that is?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what that is. So, until then, I will hold it in reserve until I get full on information on that. But it sounds like it's going to be an amazing thing, and I can't wait to go.
It's going to be a party with leaders and givers and all sorts of
game changer. It's going to be a game changer. I'm looking forward to it. But our subject today is very different. Our subject today is
heads up on the subject today.
Yeah, the subject is who let the dogs out. Who let the dogs out?
Is that another musical?
That's another. I'm telling you, I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll.
Waiter, more vodka, please.
I think we're going to be going all through the 80s of titles, song titles. But what that's talking about is the things we tell ourselves that if somebody else told it to us, we would be
the cops on them.
or there'll be a fight. We would.
I grew up in the Bronx. There wasn't a fight. There's always someone you call. Like Joey, I got a problem.
Joey, I got this guy. There's this guy.
Yeah, that nasty negative back talk in our subconscious that we've talked about gets put in there when you're 7 years old.
Yeah, you talk about it all the time, but it's such a reality that I felt like it's something that will resonate because we say so many discouraging things to ourselves, especially if it hasn't been done by anyone. You have an idea, and because nobody else has done it, you're like, or nobody else has done it, it's considered impossible for you to do. But let's talk about that first part. Are other people's limitations your limitations?
Yeah, and that goes that you have to throw a word in there, which is limiting belief.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember who. I mean, I read so many books that they said like an acorn has a potential of being a tree. That's all the potential that acorn has. Whatever it's going to do, it's only going to become a tree, right? The seed from an apple, its only potential is to become an apple tree and make apples.
Mm-hmm.
You have designated, your dog is going to be a dog, the best dog in the world, but only that dog. It can't do anything else. Whereas we have the potential to do whatever we want. But like cars get a governor put on there that even though it says 120 on your speedometer, you can only go 80 or 90 because there's a governor there that's stopping it. That voice in our head that was put there when we were 7 years old is that governor of limiting beliefs. And then you have people that blow through that, and we put them up on pedestals in the Olympic and all sorts of things that superhuman ability. Dave Goggins comes to mind. He wrote a book, Can't Hurt Me. The guy that grew up in a really, really bad situation growing up, and he went through Navy SEALs training 3 times in a row because he didn't make it the first 2 times. So that's, and he did it by taping up his legs that were broken and all sorts of stuff, because he's like, no, that limiting belief that I can't walk on a broken leg, that's just a limiting belief. What's the record for
I only have one word for that. Ouch.
Yeah. Oh, it just read the book or there's a couple of interviews with him one's on impact theory. Just Google Dave Goggins, toughest man in the world, and you'll see that his body says we can't do this, and he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that for a minute, and just keeps going. How do you do 100 miles?
But that's the power of your mind,
right?
Your mind will tell you. Your mind sets the limitation.
And who set that limitation?
Right.
You got to keep going back.
Okay, so there's a scripture that says, when this is, and I love this. I love to use this as an example. So this is when the angel came to Mary, and
you didn't sing it, right? Don't.
No, I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to sing.
Okay.
But the angel came to Mary, and he said, he said to her, you're going to have a baby, and all the spiel. But there's something that she said that was very powerful. She said, let it be done to me as you said it. So it's like sometimes we have, if she had said, well, I can't picture myself doing that.
Well, I could see her saying, "What you talking about, Willis?"
Yeah.
Like,
I think sometimes what we believe about ourselves sets our limitations, and then we wonder why God is doing it to us. When it's like you have to wonder. You have to say to yourself, "Wait a minute, did I set that limitation, or did God set that limitation?" Right? And there's another even scripture that says that he would do exceeding abundantly above all we can even ask or think. That in itself says that God is thinking way above us. Whatever you're thinking,
he's up a pay grade. So
it's like if you're thinking here, he's thinking here. So just the fact that you're thinking. Just the fact that we're thinking means that there's more coming.
I'm going to go back and say we think we're thinking, but we're not. We're repeating the same thoughts we have every day. That's not thinking. That is just programming.
Regurgitating. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same old. Yeah. And it's a 7-year-old that's telling you these things.
Or the programming of what we've been told all our life.
You can't break that 4-minute mile. That's impossible. People have done it. You can't break until one guy broke the 4-minute mile. Everybody came up behind him breaking the 4-minute mile. So who set that limitation?
Right.
You can't get a car to go over 35 miles an hour. All the air will suck out of your head and you'll die.
Well, okay. There's certain can'ts. Like for instance, we can't breathe out of space without any equipment. Like if we didn't have any space
equipment. How do you know? Did anybody try it? That might be just that might be fake news. We might be able to all along and they just didn't let us tie it.
I would say to you,
I'll go with yours first.
I was like, do you really want to try that out? Do you really want to try that? You know, but I'm just for anybody that's kind of that's watching this. How many thoughts have you had today?
Original.
Original thought, or even the ones that kind of like just came out of your general family social setup. How many thoughts have you had today that said you can't do something? How many thoughts? How many can'ts did you get confronted with today? And are they real can'ts, or are they can'ts that you have just said you would not do?
So here's a test I do to people. I need you to be at so and so place at this hour. Oh, I can't be there. I said, there's a check for $10,000 as soon as you walk through that door, like at the time or a minute before. Can you get there? Yeah, I can. Like,
I will make adjustments. Yeah.
It's not that you can't, it's that you won't. There's that, it's not it's like jumping off a cliff and flying. No, you can't do that. It's not like I won't fly when I jump off. I'll just keep flapping and fly. No, you can't. You can't. But setting that limitation, I can't be there I can't finish that project. I can't help you on that. It's like you can't or you won't. And you run that test. If there was a gigantic amount of money at the end, or whatever, the goal is at that, could you do that? And people like, yeah, I'll be.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the tough question, because I think you can handle it. Like,
nothing goes on the outside of the turkey.
So the question is, what defines a can't? What defines a can?
It's all up here. There is no barrier except the ones we put up ourselves. And that's what Tony Robbins, makes $1 gazillion a year, showing people that their can't was just some bad programming. And there are people, and again, the ULA people, going back to them, they're like, this is what you've been thinking. This is what you've been told. Let's use these tools to get past that limiting belief, get to the next level, and go on from there. But if you don't, see if I can find it. There's this great meme. There's this giant cat sitting in a pet carrier, and there's no top on it. There's no sides on it. Only the little gate in the front. And he's sitting there staring at the gate. And the caption is, if you focus too much on the problem, the solution might
evade you.
Yes. So it's like, there's that gate. I can't get out. And you sit back and you go, oh, wait, there's no top or sides. So I think we've always been focusing on the gate. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. That's that gate that we put in front of us. And I forgot who said, you can't escape the cage unless you know you're in it. So
wow.
It's that I think that there's a really cool way.
Say that again. Say that's worthy of saying again.
Yeah, you can't escape a cage if you don't know what's in it.
You're in it.
And
so if you're in a cage, let's sit on that for a second. If you're in a cage, and that becomes your norm, then you'll never know that you're. And so now your trap feels like freedom,
right?
But you're actually trapped,
right?
Wow,
that's and we can go deep into the way things are going in politics. Also, having the government say, "Hey, we give you this, we give you that, we'll just keep you trapped. Here's this, here's that. Don't exert yourself. Here's all this stuff because we got you."
Because eventually, dependency is initiates control.
Yeah, but you're you're playing on every animal's need to find the easiest solution.
survival. It's survival.
Well, it's like we had an incident in Brooklyn where these honeybees found where they made the maraschino cherries, that those really red cherries that you put in drinks and stuff. Mm-hmm. They're very, very red cherries. Well, these bees found out that there was a leak somewhere, and instead of going to 4 million flowers, they could stop over at the cherry factory, suck up all the sugar water, and go back to the nest, and make honey from. Well, it ended up killing that whole nest of bees because it was contaminated, but it was the easy thing to do, and that's what got them. Wow. So, we're playing on what is that? And again, one thing I keep saying is the farmer that raises the pig also slaughters it. So you got to be careful how many free things you get from the farmer.
That in itself is a profound thought. But let's think about it from entrepreneurial perspective. I found that because people want to feel safe, even if it's not safe, as long as it feels safe, they will trust it.
I'm trying to look for the
it's like I want to give an example. Like, for instance, we go to work and we're like, well, this is the most responsible thing to do because I'm working and this and this and this, right? But then you get fired.
Yeah, I didn't get fired.
Or the company shuts down.
Yeah.
Now you have to think for yourself.
That's scary.
And that's why on the Phoenix National Network, we always encourage entrepreneurship, because he who is the entrepreneur gets to think for himself. And
quote. Go ahead. Talk
and because you're able, because here's the thing. One thing I'm learning about being an entrepreneur is that it's not an easy route. It's definitely not the easy way. And so, but it's the most rewarding in the sense that you're doing something you love to do, but then it forces you to think. It forces you to say, okay, how am I going to make this work? And what are the different angles I can take in order for my dream to be and be maintained as a reality? So who was it? I was listening to Dwayne Johnson, and he said, you have to be hungry, right? You have to have that hungry mindset of, I'm going to survive whether, I'm going to survive on the least to the most. But nobody's going to
Les Brown has a video called, Hungry.
Are you hungry?
Oh, it is. If you haven't heard that
I heard it last night.
It's like wanted to be a disc jockey, and it's like, and again, here's for people that don't know, go find that Les Brown "I'm Hungry" video, and basically,
it's on YouTube.
What again? The first time he asked for the job, they threw him out. What voice in his head did he listen to? Like, I told you we're not getting a job. We might as well go do something else. And then the other voice going, give it another shot.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I think we have to train our own thoughts, right? We have to tell our thoughts what to think. That sounds weird, but it's the truth.
Well, that's the problem. We're not taught to think. I will recommend a very short video, Earl Nightingale, called "The Strangest Secret." It's there on YouTube. It's like from the 1950s or something, or earlier, and it's a fantastic video. He's like, men don't get paid to work; they get paid to think, and people don't think. That's what the basic video starts with, and then he elaborates on how we don't think, and we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're not acorns that are just going to be a tree. We can be whatever we want,
Right.
but we got to take off that
Yeah,
limiting belief.
well, no, I mean, here's the thing. I don't. I mean, I think we are all like trees, and here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. Um, in the seed, in the seed is all the potential of the tree that it could be, right? But there's several factors for it to become a tree. One is it's got to be planted, right? Some people are just kind of like staying outside of the ground, thinking
What do you mean?
it's
I'm a great seed.
I'm, look, yeah,
Where's your potential? I'm a seed.
I'm a seed.
Well, that, and again, you could figure that we're told you're seeds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but by the time you're 7 years old, don't touch that, don't play with that, don't talk to people, don't. And that 7-year-old says, got it. Don't take any chances. Don't stick a fork in the electrical outlet. All sorts of stuff.
Don't know how. Don't. Well, I mean, that's all just crazy.
My problem is I didn't hear the don't part. It was like,
I know you did that as a child. It's okay. You just your confession is good, but no. But my point is that you know you being the pressures of being in the ground is really what develops you into your tree.
The other thing I heard is a tree is not made out of tree stuff. It's made out of other stuff.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah. There's an Indian, and the mystic says the beautiful lotus flower is not made of little pieces of lotus. It's made out of what it's sucked out of the mud and the ground, and all the ugly and all the smelly stuff is what that flower is made out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, your life isn't defined by all the pretty stuff. It's like, what made you? What got you to?
So I that's what I'm saying, Oscar, is like that's what I'm looking at, is like all the things that we call negative are actually the nutrients we need to be successful.
Says, things don't happen to you, they happen for
you. Yeah.
Like, okay. Now what?
And
so what? Now what is my
because that pressure forces you to, if you're going to survive, that pressure forces you to think and survive through. That's how our mind works. That's why. That's why.
People. There are potatoes and there are eggs.
Oh, right. Yes.
All right. So that same boiling water hardens an egg, but softens a potato. So
the egg or the potato is your state of mind.
Right. If you got a potato state of mind, it gets all soft and it falls apart.
Right.
If you're an egghead, then it's like, that's it. I'm toughening up.
You adjust to the point where you're like, okay, I've adjusted to this heat. It's not compromised. It hasn't compromised my situation, and so yeah, and so you have to say to yourself, you have to change your mindset to think that.
How do we do that? That's the key. How do you change? How do you reprogram that program that's been running since you were 7 to an updated operating system that lets you get past that 7-year-old governor?
One thing I would say is the attitude of gratitude. I'm learning. That's one of the things I'm learning. I'm learning that there is no negative. There is really no negative, because
you ever stub your toe in the middle of a night?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
it's painful, but it's not a negative.
Okay, all right, I give you that one.
It teaches me to turn the light on. It tells me turn the light on. Ding ding. But it's like everything that I thought was a negative, and I like what Tyler Perry said. He said he's never really failed, because everything he thought was a failure actually worked out to his benefit. The relationships you thought, man, if this person had stuck with me, or everything else, it's like it really wasn't a failure. It was you learning.
Learning, yeah.
Yeah, it was you learning how to be in the position that you're in right now. And we are a result of a compilation of our thoughts. We're a result of our decisions that we've made. So let's take ownership.
I think that's
We,
the one thing I've always told people, and it's like what it's like, oh man, this and this and this happened to me.
mhm,
What did you do to contribute to that?
yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What did you do to contribute to that? It's like, oh, my car got stolen. What'd you do? Oh, yeah, I left the keys in the car. Like, yeah, there's
Mhm.
something happened to you, but what somewhere along the line, there's a like you made one step that set all this into action.
You ever had that cousin? You ever had that cousin that is everybody else's fault? Uh, oh, why did you lose your job? Well, it was this guy, and he just kept picking on me, and I just lost it. So
That's a
totally,
definition I heard someone say.
I
Definition between a child and an adult. A child will blame everybody around them. An adult says, "Yeah, that was me." It's like the end of the Margarita song. It's my own damn fault.
but but
Yeah,
but then that guy, the guy I'm talking about, he's in his 50s, and he's still telling that
it can
same
go on
story.
forever. It can be knocking on the inside of the. It's not my fault. I'm in here.
He still lives in his family's basement. you know,
He's a child. There we go.
you know. But I mean, it's like there there are points where we have to take full on
Responsibility. Yeah,
responsibility and say
I think that's the
these
first thought. What did I do to cause this?
yeah, these are some of the choices I've made. And I mean, for those of you who haven't, you in positions where you couldn't make a decision, you were not the one making the decision. uh Give yourself the time to adjust and examine what position that you were in, and there's always a way out. That's the other thing I've always discovered too, is like sometimes we fear, like we have the fear blocker and we have the doubt blocker, right? And these two, fear and doubt, adjust our lens to think that there's no way out. It's all, this is impossible. I'll always be like this, and I'll never get out. I'm always be like this. But always and never are never true because nothing lasts for
It's
always.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. And never is never. It's like I will never cross that street, and then 10 years later you find yourself crossing that street. Is this the street I said I would never cross? Yeah, this is that the same exact street.
And like, oh, there's an ice cream store at this street. I should have. Now I find out about it.
Exactly. Exactly. So controlling the thoughts, filtering, I would say, filtering the thoughts that control our destiny, that speak to our destiny, is very vital to us reaching our destiny. One other thing, Oscar, before we go is, I said this. I think I put this in the Facebook chat on my Facebook post. You know, uh, get the mind of God before you pray, because you might just be praying for less than what God has for you. like, I want God. I just want a job that's going to pay me 20,000. And God was like, well, I had to, I had
I
the
had a
the
$1
six
million job lined up, but all right, fine.
20,000, no problem.
The universe does not care what you ask for; it will give it to you, and
Oh,
it doesn't
absolutely.
understand the word. See, that's one thing. The universe doesn't understand the word "can't"
No, no. Well,
or
because
"won't" or "I don't," or a negative thought is like, I hate being poor. Universe hears poor. Okay, here you go. There's more poor. It's like don't think of a blue elephant thing. It's like, why not?
oh yeah, yeah, like, you're in a building that's caught on fire and they say don't panic.
I won't panic because I won't be in that building that long.
Uh, yeah, our encouragement to you today is think positive, think
or
good
just
things,
think.
or just think. Well, think good things. Think good things about yourself and about your situation, about your family, because it doesn't end as long as you're waking up and you're breathing. It's not going to end there. It's going to. There's a continuation. There is a see you tomorrow or next week kind of a continuation to your story. So don't let today define tomorrow. Let tomorrow define itself.
One thing, Joe Dispenza says that. He says, we wake up every morning as the same person. You need to wake
Mhm.
up as someone else in order to move forward. It's a really, really, it's part of
Wow.
a book. It's like you don't live 75 years. You live 1 year
Hmm.
75 times.
Oh wow.
So if you keep waking up being the same person with with your predetermined,
Hmm.
this is what I'm
Notions.
this is what I'm good. This is when I'm gonna have coffee. This is the way I'm gonna drive to work.
Hmm.
You're just living that same year over and over again. You're not living 75 years. A
Yeah.
lot of good books out there.
There's a lot of good books out there that can help you cultivate your mind and your thought life and get you in the right direction. But there are a couple of things we want to announce first before we go. One is our deals for restaurants. Restaurants out there, if you are a restaurant owner, Phoenix National Network has a special promotion for you. We want to partner with you. Yeah. So we want to partner with you. By doing cross marketing, cross networking. Well, you can be on our platform and be advertised, and we can work with you as far as watching our programs in your restaurant. And it would be a benefit to all of us because we do market together. And our motto is when you win, we win. So we strive for a unilateral win between the both of us. So if you're interested in that, give me a call at 914-297-7624. I believe it's going to be a great partnership and effort to increase both of our businesses. Also, we are now on LinkedIn. Oh my goodness.
LinkedIn Live.
That's great. So you'll catch us on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. Where aren't we?
We're everywhere.
We have our own app. We're in the Droid television, Apple television. Uh I mean, we're everywhere now. LinkedIn was the last frontier.
Oh
And
no, then we got to get the
oh yeah.
the
Oh
local
yeah, local channel and well, we're already international, so okay. Yeah, yeah, official channel. So
I want to make
that's
a quick announcement. First of all, I want to thank Janet Lombardo from the team out in Long Island. This is my new background for Operation Underground Railroad. If you don't know about it, please give me a call, 646-578-7097. Operation Underground Railroad exists to stop child sex trafficking. I am a volunteer here in Westchester, and will be screening Operation Triple Take down in Long Island,
mm,
which for those of you that don't know, they started a sex trafficking ring and found two others. So
oh
they had to
wow.
coordinate a three-way strike on these
Do you
people
have the clip?
at the same time. No, the video will be shown. It's going to be premiered down in Long Island. I'm getting texts as I'm talking to you guys, so it's really cool that they were talking about the movie for a while and it's finally out. So stay
I think
tuned.
that's
We'll get
amazing.
information on how to get Operation Triple Take out to everybody.
All right. Awesome. So stay tuned for all of the programs that are going to be coming up on the Phoenix National Network. All of our entrepreneurs have something going on. Download the app. Don't be so nervous about downloading. In fact, you know what? We're going to play a little commercial. We're going to take a commercial break and then come back and close out. How's that?
Works for me.
Awesome. All right, here we go. Hi, my name is Phil, and I am the president and CEO of Phoenix National Network. Question: are you missing all the shows on Phoenix National Network? Well, I tell you, not anymore. Download the app today on your Apple, Android, cell phone, or mobile device. Catch all your favorite local programs from all your local entrepreneurs and churches. It is nothing to miss. Download the app to learn more just by typing in Phoenix National Network on your app or Droid store. Click below for more information, and we will see you on the platform. Don't miss it. It's there for your benefit. Well, that's it.
There you are. Okay.
Well, no, see that's it.
I like that.
That's the app. Download the app and get the information you need. You can watch all our programs. You can see all the additional stuff that we do. You can get in touch with all of our specialists and partners. I mean, it's just an amazing, 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 amazing app. So again, this is Focus on You with Phil and Oscar. We will see you again next Wednesday, and we appreciate you watching. Take care.